tuning into BaisWave.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Everything IS. This is our new series in which we will tell you everything we wish we knew before studying international studies at Leiden University. I'm Bruna, and I will be hosting this episode today. Today, we're talking about something that can truly shape your entire experience here in The Hague: cultural integration. So it's not just surviving in the Netherlands, but actually feeling at home here in The Hague. Now we'll start with something that a lot of people worry about when moving here: the language. So here's the good news. In The Hague, and honestly all across the Netherlands, you'll be absolutely fine if you speak just English, since almost everyone speaks it fluently. But, this is important, if you're staying here for a while, learning some Dutch is both respectful and really helpful. You don't need to be fluent, but simple things like dank u wel, hoi, or tot ziens can get you very far. And some easy ways to get started with Dutch can be attending free Dutch language cafes that are often hosted by universities or libraries, attending courses offered by our university, or using free platforms like Duolingo. Now, let's talk about the things that might surprise you when moving to The Hague. First of all, shops here tend to close way earlier than in many countries, so if you're used to late night shopping, plan ahead. Now, meal times are really early and pretty simple. Lunch here is usually around 12, around noon, and then dinner here is usually around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Another topic is the idea of Dutch directness. So, Dutch people are usually known for their honesty. They're usually very direct, which can sometimes come across as rude if you're not used to it. But the important thing here is to not take it personally. It's just cultural, and once you understand it, it actually becomes quite refreshing, maybe. Then tiki culture. This one, you might encounter it quite often once you move here. So if a Dutch friend pays for your drink when you go out to a bar, don't be surprised if you get a payment request later via the app Tiki, since splitting costs here is really normal. Sometimes you might get a Tiki even if you share a bag of chips with one of your Dutch friends. And they say it's not really stingy, but it's just how things work here. Another thing is that the Netherlands is a very card-based country, so many places don't really accept cash at all. And for this, getting a Dutch bank account early, for example with ING, can save you a lot of hassle. Now, moving on to daily life essentials that I wish I knew before I moved to The Hague. Biking is a really important thing in Dutch culture, and it's usually the main way people get around, even if it's raining and if it's really windy. So I would recommend to get a good bike. Starting with swap feeds might be really helpful, but I would also recommend getting your own bike once you're comfortable. I would also suggest investing in a high quality rain jacket for biking in the rain, which you will have to do more often than you think. And also always carry bike lights, since police will fine you if you don't carry those around. Then for public transport, I would say that it is pretty reliable, but it's also really expensive, which is why biking is so highly recommended and such a common thing here. Now, if you really want to integrate, I would say don't just stick to international circles and try and get involved locally. To do this, you can experience some national or local holidays, such as King's Day on the 26th of April. And on this day, Dutchies celebrate the king's birthday. The whole country turns orange, and there are huge celebrations in cities like Amsterdam or Leiden. Carnival, this is especially big in Tilburg, Breda, and Maastricht. And then Leiden's onset. Also, I would recommend visiting local markets like the Haagse Markt here in The Hague, joining sports clubs or student associations, and looking for events through Instagram or Facebook if you use that still. And some final thoughts about this is that even though The Hague is super international, it is also important to make an effort to learn the language, understand the culture, and try to engage with local life. So don't just stay in your international bubble, try to step out of it. It's nice talking to locals and embrace the culture here in The Hague. So that's it for today's episode. I hope this gave you a clear idea of what to expect and how to truly feel at home here in The Hague.